Alright. So let me wait until it loads up on my computer. That way, I mean, you guys can go to the YouTube channel, and it should say that it's yep, there it is. Yeah, it say that it's live streaming right now.
I can hear your TV.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, that's probably why, because my microphone is facing that way. Is that better? Awesome. Alright, let's share the link. Go to YouTube on my phone. Oh,
I'm heading back right now.
He's always sticking his nose in someone else's business. You know, I actually saw him again at his wife's funeral.
oh boy, my kid is crying now.
Sophia, I don't know what to tell you. Mommy's got poop. I know, mommy stinks.
Lay her in the bed. Lay her in the bed. Back there. I don't want to cry.
So I'm supposed to just include me and the kid in the room?
No.
And
Alright.
poop my pants in the meantime?
No. Good lord.
I just hate being an intern.
It's hard to resist the chance of a new beginning. A chance to put the problems of last year to bed.
Alrighty.
In the name of the year.
Let's see. I want to go. I want to be able to get the chat so that way I can see any comments that are coming in. I'm going to wait a second until, you know, I get a decent amount of viewers up on the video. Whoa.
Christina, I'm not being Christina. I don't have an answer.
Then answer me this. What were you planning?
How's it going, guys? Leave a comment.
Baby.
Kind of give us a name or gamer tag or whatever. We'll get started here in a minute. Just waiting for a couple more people to come in. See where they're at.
Listen up, people. New year, new rules. Or should I say new year, and we will be enforcing the rules mandated by the Residency Review Committee. There were too many mistakes made last year. Fatigue played too big a role. Exceeding 80 hours work per week will not be tolerated.
I think so.
Sullivan, you were on call for 28 hours, leave at 30. Ray, you were here until 2 a.m. last night. See you.
I get to come every time.
What's up, Dion?
Go on, people.
How's it going?
Gonna have to work extra hours for compensation. Treat them well. Ranking their
Yes, that is right. Go Colorado.
Maybe you can share the fun. You know what? New Year's resolution was to let it go, and I am. I have let it go. I am.
We are, well, the three of us are currently probably setting up our laptops to make sure that we can see everything.
We're all pulling for you.
We are.
Yeah.
See the message from you better than that person listening.
Alright, I'm up and ready here.
Alright. Alrighty, guys. As everybody knows, I, along with Ian and Ethan, run a sportscast for the league. First season of this. Go ahead and introduce your guys yourselves. Ian, go ahead. We'll start with you.
As soon as the message for the on list is there dissected out. Did it, cat?
Yep, my name is Ethan Juice, and I'm the owner of the Florida Panthers, and definitely excited to get this season up and running. Really fun.
So let's kind of touch base. Ian, what other leagues have you played in besides the WEHL? Okay. All right. Same thing for you, Ethan. What other leagues have you played in?
Just Facebook.
Okay. All right. I played a couple games in LG. I owned last season on Facebook, and I played in season 5. I owned in season 6, and I am playing and owning in season 1 of the World-E. I'm glad that that you guys could definitely help me set all of this up. I'll tell you that definitely it's not easy. Well, let's get right down to what we want to talk about here, and we'll go right into it. In the post bidding, were there any surprises that you guys seen? That maybe definitely weren't something you guys were expecting out of bidding, or just something that blew you away,
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, on the defense. Now let me pull up the defense real fast.
There were a couple guys on here that went for about 9 mil. Especially surprised me looking. I was feeling like the defense would go around maybe 3 to 5.
Yeah. See, I was agreeing with you on that. Was that I thought defense was gonna go for a little dirt cheap, because everybody nobody wants to play defense, but there's somebody that has to, and that's kind of where I was like, well, maybe they're gonna go for a little cheaper than some of these high-powered forwards or some of these big name guys, and they ended up going for relevantly, the same price as what some of the big name guys would go for. One of my biggest, I think one of the biggest things that I noticed in the defensive side of things was that, where is he? Canucks X91. I don't know who he is. I don't know what other league experience he has. And if you're watching this, go ahead and put a comment down in the comment section, inform us. But for a defenseman, to go at 9.5 mil, like, that's going to be a D-man to watch this year. I think that that's going to be one of those guys that we're, as a podcast, as a league voice, like, that's a team we're going to want to look at, once we see where he goes, I really do think that, if he's a $9.5 million defenseman, I hope he puts up the points that a $9.5 million defenseman should be putting up.
Another one that stood out here was Heather LB123, 11.5 mil. That was way up there.
Now, Heather. Okay.
Not really sure who that is either.
Yeah, not 100% sure. Again, another defenseman. And like I said before, are those defensemen gonna put up the numbers that you know, an $11.5 million forward is going to put up, or, you know, is it going to be a solid stay-home defenseman that, you know, helps not only know how to cycle the puck, but along with just knowing the game of hockey, you know. I know, like, a lot of defensemen, they went for around what I would consider, you know, a good defenseman to me would be, you know, 4-5 million maybe at the max. You know, I did not expect any defenseman to go over 5 million. I can tell you that. I mean, in fact, another one. I don't know if you guys watched him at all. Luka Cavs. He was another defenseman. He went for 7 million. Again, you know, high bid. You know, and some of these teams that put those high bids in, you know, I don't want to say that, you know, oh, you might have bid off too much, but again, you know, those cap hits and the roster spot, like, you know, you're taking up, you know, a roster spot for 7, 9, 11 million. You know, how does, you know, I just hope for the best when it comes to those teams. You know, I really do hope for the fact that, you know, those guys are active, that those guys are playing all the time, and that those guys are really, you know, those teams can build a core out of those guys.
Yes, he's a good defenseman. Definitely expecting him to be up there. But 4.35 is right around where I feel like a defenseman should go for. That's what I predicted a defenseman to go for. So.
Go ahead.
He's
Now,
smart, quarterback out there.
And I think that's what some teams need. You know, they need that guy on the defensive end to kind of help dictate the offense. Well, in fact, actually, another defenseman I had on my list was Seabass. You know, I mean, another $9.5 million defenseman. I didn't know really what all to expect there. I seen him get run up real early in the bidding, and then he just kind of died off. So I don't know if that was just something that it happened that way, or if it was just, you know, somebody wanted to get him up there as much as they could at first, so that way nobody would touch him.
Is there anyone else?
Any idea where the formulas at?
Maybe forwards or goalies.
Yeah, fucking 18 miles of fucking shit every fucking where.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I actually took T-Jock at, let's see, what was he again? He was the 4, yeah, I took him at 4. I took T-Jock at 4. Last year, I want to say right between the playoffs and the end of the season, T-Jock was on the opposite team in the All-Star game. I knew him. He played defense. He kind of stood out to me when I seen his name. You know, you go back and try to find stats for some of these guys, and you find stats, and, you know, they're already bid up to $3 million. You know, and at that point, you kind of have to, you got to set yourself, you know, and I think I set myself on him at 4.5, 5. and you know I got him for 4, and I think, to be honest, I mean I really do think I could have gotten a steal there.
It's not me and my best
Yep,
friend Jen.
that is definitely.
Satisfied?
Does she ride it with you?
Jen has a boyfriend like everyone else. I get to be a freak all by myself.
Freak. That's not the easiest thing to be in high school, is it?
It's more like a shrink.
Hey, I wasn't always a doctor. In high school.
Christy.
Another one I'm not too sure of.
Christy. I played with him when he was, I don't know if he was trying out for Philly or if he was just playing for Philly at the time, but I know that I did try out, or I did play with him. Another one of those very solid defensemen. Personally, you know, I would go more towards a second line quarterbacking defenseman with a first line forward pairing on that. Just for the fact that, you know, I mean, from what I've seen, and that's just from a couple of games. I mean, nothing against him, nothing to whoever took him. You know, that's just from what I've seen at a couple of games out of the kid. He's a cool guy, really, he'll laugh, joke with you, and everything. I expect to see him on some of the highlight reels this season with his big hits. I really do.
So, my choices are homicide charges or inappropriate personal questions from a patient.
I know, kind of sucks.
You know what? Hold your breath. I'll take my chances with Hildy. I can do girl on girl.
Oh, so you bring up girl on girl. How can I blackmail you if you bring up girl on girl? What are you gonna know? That guy Alex.
I've heard about him. Never played with him because I know from the FB that he is a solid defenseman. But no, I've never played with him, so I'm not really sure.
I think I'm right there. I've heard of him. Probably have played against him, played with him at some point in some time. But like you said, it'll be, it'll be good to see, how some of these quality high bid guys go for. Another defenseman that was on my watch list was actually Bueller, XX Bueller XX. He went for 4.75. He's a solid. Go ahead. Okay. All right. So how did that come about? Go ahead and give us your insight on that.
So I was just early in the tryout stage. He crossed my Discord, tried him out, and he fit really well with one of my defensemen that I have on the protected list. So it worked well, and I was like, this is definitely a guy I want on my team.
Awesome.
He's a very solid man.
Oh yes, 100% I agree. Last season, I think I drafted him in the FB draft. In the, what was it? It was one of the later rounds in the draft. A very solid, very, very, very solid defenseman. Somebody that you can truly build a core around.
Exactly.
He's a great guy. He's always available, always playing. He's always wanting to, play with new guys, and I think that's something that all of these teams need, and I hope that all of these teams have at least one of those guys. And I think that if they have one of those guys, then all of these teams will succeed.
Yep.
So what now? What are we supposed to do? I don't understand. Okay, the best news.
Let's hop on over to the forwards. Let's see some of these. Now, right off the bat, everybody knows it. Ace Space, Ace 69, RIP, went for 9.25. Now, does any of you guys know him? I don't happen to know him, you know, but obviously there are quite a few teams out there that, you know who he is and paid that much for him, you know.
Yeah.
My mouth feels all weird.
I'm not really sure.
Weird pins and needles. No, needles and pins. Needles and pins. Yeah. Yeah. Starting from my fingers and toes, like, Lord God, give me a simile. Is he always this way?
The man ain't a novel. He's not exactly normal. But he got weirder the more he ate. He's like upset.
Mr. Moskowitz, I'm Dr. Werber. I'm doing this surgery today. I poured my
That's a steep price, you know, to take into the first season, you know, because I mean everybody is going to be watching all of these guys, high bid, low bid, and obviously we are in particular. I mean we're going to be going through stats every couple of days, looking to see where these guys are sitting, and at 9.25, I hope that not only are you a 100+ point scorer, but I also hope that you're active and you're with the league where it needs to be, this and that. I really do hope for everything that could possibly help. At 9.25.
Yeah.
Let's kind of go down here.
Scrolling through right now.
Yeah, we've got Andrew. Okay, Andrew Carlisle's 15. Went for $7 million. Again, one of those forwards that we're going to be watching all season to see if they were really worth that $4 million or that $7 million bid, or if it's a dud. I mean, and I really hope none of these guys are duds. I really don't. But I mean, there's always one.
Actually, we were thinking, we thought, since you're already going to be in there, we know fixed isn't the right word, but we were thinking that with the hormonal infusion, it might be easier on her to remove whatever
Okay.
parts she keep her more of a girl.
Just to be clear, you're asking me to perform sexual reassignment surgery on your daughter.
Yes, without her knowing. All she said all her life is that she wants to be normal. She doesn't feel normal.
Why can't we just put an end to her? First of all, removing her male sexual organs may not do that. In fact, it could do just the opposite.
But her hormones can be controlled with an oral medication.
Right.
Exactly.
To do surgery and alter her body.
Another one here looking at is Crafty Circus, 9.25.
I must
Not really
have.
sure who he is.
Yeah. He was on my list, I believe. Yeah, Crafty Circus 925. Again, one of those guys that I don't happen to know him. Again, if you guys watching do know him, put him in the comments. Say, hey, I'm here, I'm watching. Or just tell us, good, bad, indifferent. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're new to the league. That was something that I did notice, was a lot of these names. You see a lot of the same names, but they stayed with a lot of the guys they knew, and that was for a first season, that's all right.
Not acceptable.
Similar studies in Europe. Your mother is a crime kid.
My mother is very sick and has very few good days. And I don't want her being poked and prodded for some experimental program.
I'm just trying to help.
See this?
And then right under Crafty Circus, another one, Dave Pike. His bidding actually started pretty late. I looked at him on Thursday night, and going into Friday morning, and I didn't see a bid put on him yet. And I just kind of thought, I was like, do guys not know who this is? Like, and and I almost put a bid in on him, but I held back. I did hold back on him, but man, at once again, you know, a $7.75 million contract. I mean, we're going to be watching. You know, these guys are going to be watching, want you to produce.
Are you mad at me or something?
No, sorry.
Oh yeah. Actually, there was. Let's see. There was actually another one. This was something that I know that many of us owners know about. I don't know if many of you players read the announcement portion of the Discord. But Foxy HRC 0314 was bid at 4.25 million, and right under his name, it's he's valued at 2.5. So there was a bit of a reach there. Now this is the thing that is going to come in real big. Is the statement that I'm about to make is let me find the announcement and I will just go ahead and put it out there. As of last Tuesday at 2:22, Foxy HRC 0314 has been suspended for the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
So, what are your guys' opinions on, you know, somebody reaching at that 4.25 and you can't use him for the first 2 weeks?
I'm not really sure. I definitely wouldn't go that high if you couldn't use them in the first 2 weeks. But, I mean, maybe he's that good. Not really.
Everything's gonna be fine, thanks. I'm having surgery. Compressing my ovary. Right, George? Mr. O'Malley?
Okay.
George?
But then again, you know, I mean, you know, it is a new league. Everybody, you know, obviously starts with a clean slate, and you know, you take steps, you know, one at a time, and you know, a week before, you know, the draft, you know, to be finalized and you're suspended, and then, you know, for the first 2 weeks of the season you can't do anything. Yeah, it's kind of a hit to that team that took him. You know, I really do hope that either the team has got some depth in his position, or I hope that, you know, that something comes about and, you know, the suspension is, I don't want to say lifted because I know it won't be, but is maybe modified to a week or a week and a half. You know. Another I want to say he's a forward. Another forward that kind of caught my eye because he was kind of real low bidded. He was real low bid. Have a Brewski. I don't know if you know. He went for $1 million. One bid. He went for $1 million. What are your guys' opinions on that?
How is she supposed to go home and tell the other kids? What? You had no right.
No, I know. I'm off the case, right?
I can agree there. That is definitely a steal.
Yeah. When I looked up his stats, I was pretty impressed. I really was. I was, I was like, wow, and I had already, from my perspective in, Colorado, we had guys that we had our eye on, and and I just kind of watched his bidding because I knew the name, and Thursday night going into Friday, he didn't have any bids on him, and then Friday, I seen that somebody had put a bid in on him, and I was like, I wonder if anybody is gonna make a bid, anybody's gonna take that bid up. And it doesn't look like anybody did, and I truly think that they got a hell of a steal there.
I'm seeing these. I'm getting comments that Ian, they can't hear you in the broadcasting. My team has messaged me, and then Colby, the Islanders owner, put on there. He can only hear one other guy than the broadcaster. And then my team was saying they can only hear me and Will.
Christina called Barb. Fairly extensive damage from coronary artery disease. Yay.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Another guy here that I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Let me hold on one second. Scroll down. Alright. Prodigy _ 81. 10.5 mil. 25 bids.
Ooh.
Do you know who he is, or?
That I don't know.
Yeah, me either.
But once again, it's one of those situations where it's are you taking a chance on a guy, or do you know from past experience that he's gonna be there? Yeah, I don't exactly know who he is, but then again, it might be, it might just be one of those guys that they joined, he was good, and he kind of somebody ran up the bid a little bit on him, which okay,
Yeah. I was trying to find his stats, but I could not. I'm not sure what leagues he's played in. Alright, I'll ask him one sec.
Can you guys hear Ethan?
Ian.
Sorry, not Ethan. Ian. Can you guys hear Ian? Right.
Yeah, you can hear me.
Man, I hope so.
I guess. I wish someone said something earlier.
Right.
Ian's been talking this whole time.
Now I feel bad. Hold on. Hey, Ian, say something, will you? Wow, that's weird. I can't hear you on my YouTube. That's super weird.
I tried listening to it.
If you go into your settings, sorry, we completely apologize, guys. Like, if you go into your settings, let me turn on my. Oh man, I don't know. I want to do that. All right, we're still on the air, guys. We are just going through some settings problems right now. Let's see. Alright, so go to sharing and broadcast. Audio sharing settings. And then, are all three of them checkmarked? Okay. You guys, Ian, go ahead and talk, I guess, yeah. Because I know my settings are to where.
I still can't hear him, no.
Wow, my settings are where I can hear everybody. Audio sharing settings. Yeah, I mean, my settings are all parties to allow their voices to be shared. This overrides the setting for include microphone audio and video clips and include microphone audio and broadcast. Wow. I wanna. Oh, man, that is irritating. Do you have a PlayStation camera? No? Okay. I have one. Okay, so broadcast settings.
That's super weird.
Ew.
That's super weird.
Thanks for telling me. I'm making note of it.
Okay, awesome. Right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we apologize for that, guys. Wow. So, okay.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get back to where we were. Prodigy underscore 81 again. 10.5 on 25 bids. If any of you guys know, some of these guys, like, put them down in the comments. Let us know. It's kind of odd because I've seen the name, but I don't know who he is.
It's not a day on a calendar.
Huh.
Not a birthday.
Yeah, me either.
Not a new year.
Do you happen to know who he is, Ian?
I'm sorry, who?
Prodigy underscore 81.
I personally do not.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, again, another $10.5 million contract at
Yeah, 25 bids or something, right?
yeah, and to have a $45 million cap, that's a good chunk of your cap right there. I mean, that only leaves you with what is that, 34.5 mil to spend on 18 other guys. And I mean, these guys are only going to get better. These names are only going to become a little more popular, going to become better, and that's something that these guys are going to have to watch out for. Is running out of cap space.
Yeah. A guy I want to point out is it's true. He's going for 3.5 million. He's currently the owner of LG Peterborough Pete's, and he was a former owner of LG Prince Albert Raiders. So I'm sure being an owner and or not being an owner, being a player in a new league is going to be I'm sure going to be a new change to him. So 3.5 million, he's a really solid player. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Again, one of those sleeper bids that could, come handy. I think we are getting to the end of the forwards here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, another one. I'm looking at right here. Ex-Headman. $9 million. He went to Chicago. Now, have any of you guys seen him play? Or heard of him or anything?
I think I've heard of him. I'm pretty sure he played in the NHL in the FP last season.
Okay. Yeah.
Heard of him?
I personally have not heard of him or played with him, so
Yeah, that'll be one of those guys to watch. You know, and as us as owners and broadcasters, we may just be sitting here thinking, oh, you know, that's quite a bit of money, but obviously there's an owner out there that's willing to spend that much.
Exactly.
And if you guys, you know, and if you guys as owners have an input on any of it, you know, feel free to get a hold of us. You know, let us know. You know, kind of give us an opinion on how they play. You know, something that we can, you know, send us a highlight reel of theirs or something. You know, and we'll take a look into it so that way we know what we're looking at and, you know, what we're looking towards in the season. Now, moving on to goalies. This was a fun thing to have after a mistake was made on, when did bidding open? Last Thursday? Tuesday?
Nope.
Okay, so bidding opened on Tuesday, ran until Friday. By 8:30 on Tuesday morning, bidding was closed again. Because, yeah, yours truly put in a $25 million bid on a goalie that should have never happened. Since then, I have updated my phone, and it doesn't glitch on the keyboard anymore, so we won't have that problem anytime soon. But, yeah, Philadelphia's owner, I didn't even notice it. I was at work. I went on my 8 o'clock break, and, you know, I put in some bids, and I was only going to put in a $250,000 bid on a goalie.
Yeah.
And come to find out, within the next 20 minutes, somebody's, you know, messaging me saying, you know, you're over cap with that bid, right? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I only put in like 2 bids. They'd say, yeah, a $25 million bid and something else. I was like, there's no way. Come to find out, I did. It was handled quickly by Scott and Keith. They handled the situation. Yeah, thankfully. They handled the situation great. And they definitely, they took care of us as owners and helped us.
Exactly, yep.
yeah.
That's good.
See, as goalies go, is there anybody that really, I mean, there's a couple that stick out to me. Crusaders went for 4.75. I don't know if any of you guys know him. I know I have played with him and against him. Solid goalie. I think they got a steal there at 4.75. Goalies are, you know, I expect goalies to go a little higher. You know, I expect the 6, 7, maybe 7.5, reaching at 8 million. You know, I mean, there are some real low bidded goalies. I know this one sticks out to everybody in this, and I do believe he is. Let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, let me make sure from the list that I've got. I want to make sure that the list I've got of high bids, that's the right. I want to say he is the second highest bid player in the draft this season.
I'm pretty sure.
DC?
Yeah, DC. At $10.75 million as for a goalie. What are you?
Better be the best goalie in the league.
Yeah, what are your guys' opinions on that one there, bud? I know, I hear the chuckle. I know I'm chuckled up about it. What are your guys' opinions on that? I mean, for a goalie to go at you know, 10, almost 11 million. It was a true shocker to the entire league. It really was.
Pretty insane. He came over and played a couple games for us. And he was definitely someone I planned on getting, but then I looked and their bid was way up there, so I was like, yeah, I can't really. It's not really what's doing that, you know?
Right. What about you, Ian? What are you thinking, man?
As an owner myself, I would not bid on even a goalie that high, especially for 10.75 mil. That's just insane. I mean, I'm sure all the other owners out there could feel the same, except for the one that just bidded on him, of course.
Right.
But whatever team that feels confident in him. I hope that he turns out to be the best player or best goalie in the league.
I know me and my GM, we kind of sat here one night and we talked about it, and it was a shock to us, you know, that they went that high, and I was just, that he went that high, and, you know, I was like, wow, like, I hope this, you know, as a Colorado fan, I truly hope that he either becomes the Patrick Waugh or the what is his name? The Patrick Waugh, the Marty Brodeur of the league. I mean, you know, I hope you become the face of the league, dude. And it's nothing against you. I don't know you. You know, I don't know your play style. I don't know how you play. I played with some great goalies, some bad goalies. I also, you know, I had a goalie last season that played. I even played with a goalie last season that, you know, had I think 8-game win streak. You know, out of 8 games he started, he didn't lose one. You know, and I got him for $4 million. So I hope, I do hope that you are. I do hope that you are in there. You know, I really do.
Let's point out. I want to point out the Pimpinator going for 6.75 mil. 14 bids placed on him. I mean, I heard a lot of good things about him, so I just want to know your guys' opinion on that.
Go ahead, Ethan.
Really sure. Another one I'm not sure of, but I definitely did. Like, I don't know him personally, but I heard he's a good boy.
The Pimpinator. Every time I play against him, I laugh because of his name. I know it's, you know, it's childish, but it's a hilarious name. I did have my eye on him. We played that small 10-team tournament at the way before the season started, and well, even before the draft. And, you know, that was, you know, he was on, I don't know what team he played for during that, but I do know that, you know, he held him down. He definitely, you know, he's a solid goalie. I mean, he's one of those guys that, I want to say it was Minnesota too, actually. He was one of those guys that, you know, you really got to get. You know, you had to have the goalie moving. You had to get him moving. You had to make him make saves. Because, you know, if he doesn't make saves, you know, it's easy for him. You know, you gotta put pucks on the net. You know, and that's just one of those goalies. Another notable one, the Prodigy, 1077, 14 bids at 5.25 million. You know, still. A little bit under what I expect a good goalie to go for, but you know, it could be a steal or it could be a bust. You know, and with any of these guys in this league, steal or bust. You know, it's just kind of how it is. You're taking chances. You know. Let's see. Was there anybody that stuck out that didn't really? Actually, there was. Immortal Russ 23. I seen a lot of guys try him out, and nobody picked him up. You know, that was something that you know, from my understanding, he was a great goalie. Well, he was. I don't want to say great. I don't want to overtalk anybody. But I wouldn't say he was horrible. I wouldn't say that he was, you know, once again the Patrick Waugh, the Martin Brodeur of the league. But I would say that, you know, he held his own. He was a solid goaltender. To see him go undrafted was kind of a shock to me, to be honest. Any opinions on it? I don't know if you guys tried him out. I know I did. You know, and that was just, you know.
I personally did not, but I've heard of him.
Okay. Another goalie.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna point out NBA 2K16 is Life 201. That's he's going for 1.5 million. Only 3. I personally bid on him, but unfortunately I did not get him. It's just one of those things. 3 bids. NBA 2K16 is Life 201. He's an LG owner for the Prince George Cougars.
Okay.
He's a pretty solid player, I should say, but he's not normally a goalie. I'm actually kind of surprised that he signed up as a goalie. He is an LG forward, so it's interesting. It's going to be another person to watch this season, see how well he does in net.
Okay, yeah.
Especially like the adjustment from LG to maybe a newer league, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of these guys, I know a lot of these guys, they came from LG, or, you know, they came from LG, they came from FB, you know, and one of the things that got me was, you know, that, you know, the difference that you're going to see in play style, you know. I, as an owner, this year, my big thing for my team was to slow it down, not try to be as fast-paced and, you know, score on the rush as much. And in previous leagues in the FB, and even in, you know, the teams I played in the World E, that's kind of our play style. You know, that's our play style. That is where you play fast hockey. You know, LG they play a slower, contain the puck style of hockey, and I want to see how these guys can. I want to see how these guys can adjust to a new style of hockey. I think it'll be. I don't want to say it'll be a shocker, because obviously, you know, trades will be made, you know, and you'll have teams in this league that can slow it down, can possess the puck, but, you know, you got one bad pass and you're on the rush and you're breaking out, you know, and you've got a 2-on-1, you know, and it's, you know, it's the best of both, you know, and I think that's what will determine a good goalie and a good defenseman, a good forward. I think that's what will determine some of these guys' seasons this season.
Yeah.
Definitely. You guys wanna from out of the defense, the forwards, and goalies, who do you think is gonna have in the bidding? Who do you think is gonna have like the biggest impact from all these players that enter bidding? Just the players that enter bidding.
Oh wow! Impact. The biggest impact. Okay. Yeah, you know, I don't want to doubt any of these guys out that did get bought, and I don't want to overtalk any of the guys that did get bought. But I truly do think the biggest impact may actually come from a defenseman, really.
Yeah, I agree there.
You know, playing defense in the past 2 seasons of league that I've played in, I know that being out of position as a defenseman or any of that, it can really hurt your team. And
Yeah, make or break it.
yeah, to be honest, I don't want to. I want to actually I want to say Canucks. From what I've heard, he's a solid defenseman. He's a great defenseman. And at 9.5, I mean, I really think that you could be a difference maker. I think you could be, I think you could be the guy that could help your team win a championship. I mean, you're going to have to you're going to have to be the quarterback of that team. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a guy that's going for 9.5 million, and not only that, but 25 bids is pretty insane on one player.
Right.
So.
Exactly. One of you guys said Cody Wolf. Which was that? Ian?
Yeah, that was Ian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. I know at the time your mic wasn't working, and we apologize for that. Go ahead and restate your opinion on Cody Wolf, because at 4.25, I mean, it's a $5 million, well, $4 million defenseman, give or take. What are your thoughts on it, man?
To me, that's a steal.
Yeah, it's pretty solid player. He's very skilled in the offensive zone, and like you said, William, if you can have a defenseman that is pretty solid from both ends of the ice, defensively and offensively, and you get that chem going, it's pretty hard to beat that. I mean, especially a defenseman that has that type of skill. As a defenseman myself, that's my type of play style. I always want to contribute to the offensive side of the ice and the defensive side of the ice. So 4.25 million for that type of player, I think that's a steal for sure. I mean, you could ask Ethan how well he played. I mean, he played with Bridgeport Sound Tigers and FP, so he can give you the intake on that.
Like we've been saying, he's definitely a quarterbacker in the offensive zone. He's always calling out the plays. He knows what everyone does. And he's just smart with the puck, so definitely a player that you want on your team.
All right, so give or take, Cody Wolf is going to be probably our defensive player to watch for the year.
Yes.
That's from my understanding on your guys' opinions. I think that's what we're going towards. I think that's more or less where we're leaning. Now something that I know is it's probably an unpopular, because some of these guys, they didn't get drafted, or but who is going to be who do you guys going through these 90 guys that didn't get picked up? Does anybody stick out to you guys that you may know the name, or something that if you guys just had to take somebody out of the 90 that didn't get picked up, where are your guys's, or who is your guys's standout for the season that you guys want to watch?
I'm gonna take a look here quick.
I've seen a few names that I know. There's quite a bit of them.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about Immortal Russ. He, like I said, he didn't get picked up. Solid goaltender. And maybe he's a free agent prospect goalie to watch. I know I was just looking here at somebody else that I just seen. Where did he go? Oh, man.
This is Klein's toxicine and Tiger both came back negative. I was sure I was right about that.
Gonna have to adjust your worldview.
Oh, there. Is it him? Hold on.
So how do we proceed?
Let's see.
I can't really distinguish here, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to I don't want to doubt him out. I think watching some of the prospects come up, I think that'll be something to see. I think I recognize this name. I'm gonna look him up real fast on the old stats page. But I think it is Isaac Roxon. That name sounds super familiar. If you're here watching it, just let us know what your gamer tag is, or
Someone commented teams to watch out for.
Ooh, teams to watch out for.
Yeah, with the rosters.
Yes, again. To be honest, yeah, I would say that teams to watch out for would have to come at it on a different night. Sometime this week we will start our 4-part series of going through all the divisions and breaking down teams and rosters and seeing where they're sitting, not only cap wise, but sitting roster size wise, roster wise. But if I had to throw it out there, just to throw it out there right now, a team to watch out for, I would have to say Philly.
That is my number one right there.
Only for the fact that we played Philly in the preseason tournament, and they play a solid style of hockey. Now, I'm not giving anybody else, down on anybody else, because like I said, with rosters not set up the way they are yet, the admins are still working on it. If I had to go based on just playing against them, the 2 to 3 times that we have, I would have to say Philly. Another one might actually be Ottawa.
Funny story. We just had a little scrimmage right now on this podcast. We should be in Ottawa here.
Okay. Yeah.
Ottawa, I have a feeling they have a solid goaltender.
Oh, and Melton.
Since, we might be a little bit short on time here, but I want to do a brief recap of the preseason tournament that we had like a week ago.
Yes. Let me pull up that.
Matter of fact, I got the group stage up here.
What?
The group stage, all the teams that participated. To put that aside, we all have these teams. These are teams that just only had their protected players out there for this tournament. So obviously, during the actual season, it's going to change because teams will have their full roster out there, a different roster. So I'm looking here at Group A. The teams were Philadelphia, Colorado, Winnipeg, Arizona, and the New York Rangers. And then for Group B, the teams were Ottawa, Minnesota, Florida, Vegas, and Chicago. Now, looking off the recap of the tournament, the team that finished first in the group was Philadelphia. They went 4-0. Alright, 4-0. They scored, let me see here, a total of...
Yeah, I'm trying to find that chat right now.
We scored a total of 24 goals that tournament, just in the group stage. Now, I think, like you guys said earlier, Philadelphia is going to be a team to watch out for. Well, I'm just gonna point this out right here. The team that finished second in that group, I mean, this group was pretty strong itself, but Colorado, that's a team to look out for. I mean, they went 2-2. I mean, personally, my team had struggled playing against Colorado, so definitely a solid team, and we'll see how it goes for the season. I mean, it should be interesting. And then the team that finished third is Winnipeg, went 2-2. Another team that's gonna be solid. I mean, great owner over there, and we'll see how he builds his team. And then the team that finished fourth was my team, Arizona. We did not advance to we finished with 4 points. We did not advance to the actual bracket stage. Yeah, we didn't finish to the actual bracket stage because due to point differential. So we kind of, we tied with Winnipeg, but we didn't get in, so.
Right. It's funny, I know, it's funny you said Colorado. As the owner of Colorado, those guys, when I protected I think I only actually protected, I could have taken 10. I could have taken any 10 I wanted to. But the 10 that I took, or I can't even say the 10, I think the 7 that I took, was actually, it was most of my starting line from last season. And it was only that way because of the fact that those were the guys that, were active the most, were the ones that, those were the guys that wanted to play, and a lot of guys, they were like, well, I'm still undecided or this or that, don't get me wrong, like, I appreciate every guy that played for my team last season, because if it wasn't for those guys, like, there's no way that season would have ever lasted. About halfway through the season, I had my very first kid, and I had to hand over ownership for a week and a half to my GM at the time, or my AGM at the time, and that was hard, to be like, okay, well, this is what I've got to do, but like I tell everybody, family comes first when it comes to any of these, and any of you players that are sitting here watching this, any of you owners that are sitting here watching this, none of us will think of you differently, will judge you, will, make fun of you, any of that, for the fact that, you decided that, you just didn't have time for it, you couldn't do it, or, it's too hard right now because of family issues and outside relations. And that's something that, I want to say because, I know how hard it was for me going to Keith and Scott and telling them, hey, like, I have to hand over ownership for a week and a half. Like, I don't want you guys to, I don't want you guys to take my ownership from me. I just need to do this, like, this is my real life, and they didn't think of me any differently. They didn't, judge me or this or that, and I appreciate that, because we all know everybody has families, everybody has a life, and life happens. I mean, that's really all it is. Life happens. There's nothing else we can do about it. Going back to the tournament, I don't get me wrong, like, I don't like the way it ended. I really don't. Only for the fact that it only ended the way it did. It only happened the way it did because of it being super late at night.
Yeah.
again, okay, so Ethan, like what I was just saying, Ethan's gonna get out of here. So Ethan, go ahead, give us your final thoughts on everything, and then
Yeah, I just gotta hop out here. Something I gotta attend, but glad that this this league was created, and I think it's definitely off to a really good start. So let's just keep that going, and let's have a good season coming up. It's gonna be really fun. I'm excited for it. Thanks for watching this podcast too. Definitely a good idea here.
alrighty, Ethan, thank you
Alrighty.
for joining us in the first one.
Sorry, stay.
Oh no, you're good, man. Like I was just saying, family stuff comes first.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'll see you guys.
Later, Ethan. So, Ian, what are some things that these guys watching the podcast and future streams, videos, what are some of the things that they can expect from us, you know, as podcasters, as video creators, as content creators, and all of that?
Expect a lot of talking about teams, players, power rankings, stars, big hits, all kinds of stuff about this league. I mean, obviously this is our first podcast ever, so it's gonna take time to get used to. I mean, over the course of time, we're gonna get better at this. I mean, no more audio mistakes or anything like that.
Right.
So, personally, I feel like it's gonna go good. I feel like this league is gonna run as smoothly as everyone expects it to. So, yeah, I mean, expect a lot of good content on this channel, especially about the league itself.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. A lot of content. As many of you guys know, if you guys watched my channel before, if you guys didn't, I stream all of my league games. All the league games that I'm in will be streamed on this channel. Only for the fact that it's the one that is hooked up directly to my PlayStation. I apologize. Just kind of how it works. Other games that to have access to the other games, we're currently in the works with the site builder for the league. We want to get all the teams to have 2 accounts that are their main streamers for games. Whether it be a goalie, whether it be a forward or defenseman, and we want to work with them on getting code or the coding for their videos, for their live streams, so that way you guys can actually go to the website, go to the media portion of the website, and watch. For guys that are, that are not playing, or guys that are, that are just kind of getting into it or in the prospects, to kind of watch and see how league play works. Another thing that we will be doing is we'll have a top 10 video coming out, whether it be every week, every bi-weekly, but all the plays and videos that you guys will see will be submitted to us, and the 3 of us, we'll go through all the videos, we'll vote on them, and then it'll be shared to you guys. That'll be the nice thing, is that every player in this league, whether it be in a drop-in, whether it be in a league game, you guys have the chance to get your name out there. Get in that top 10. Get in the top 10, or get in the not top 10. Everybody makes a mistake. I know nobody wants to admit it. But yeah, we plan to have a not top 10. Whether it be turning over the puck right in front of the net, or putting it in your own net, because everybody knows somebody that has done that. Take a video of it, send it to us, let us know. Get your guys' video and your guys' content into us, so that way we can put more content out for you guys.
Well said.
Another possible thing here in the coming weeks, we want to get the owner, or not the owners of the league, as in Keith and Scott, if you guys don't know them. We want to get them on the show with us, do some special interviews, talk to them about what their visions and how they want to grow the league are. I know something that has been discussed for possibilities in the future is to be created on the, and it even says it in the on the website, but to have an AHL. You know, get the name of the league out there, guys. I mean, this is, you know, it's new, it's upcoming. You know, get us out there. You know, whether you share the video, whether you like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. You know, you show it to a friend that plays, or hey, like, I'm playing with a group of guys that I, you know, play league with. Maybe you should sign up. You know, this or that. You know, help us grow, help us become bigger. You know, that's all we ask. You know, I don't know if there's anything else you wanna talk about, Ian.
I want to go back to what you said about the special guests on the show. I mean, like you said, I feel like having that on our show would definitely, like, it's more for you guys out there. It's not about, you know, it's just about the league. It's just about the players. It's all about you guys. That's what we want to see. I mean, as long as this league, I feel like doing that, it will definitely help. And like I said, we can have you know, owners on the show. You know, we can do player interviews, admin interviews, anything that's going on around the league. I mean, I feel like that's definitely something that we can do. The power rankings, weekly power rankings, I feel like that's going to be interesting. I mean, we're going to have preseason power rankings once the rosters get updated. What else? Yeah, and like William said, turn in your clips or send it to me or William, and we can definitely get your guys' names out there, whether it's top 10 hits, top 10 dangles, top 10 goals, top 10 passes, you name it. Just anything that has to do with hockey and anything that relates to this league. Just, we want to hear everybody's opinion about this and like what you guys want on the show. I think that's definitely our #1 priority right now.
Yeah, as you said, number one hits and everything. It's all there. I mean, if it's in the game, it's, you know, it's on the show. I mean, if it's in the league, it's on the show. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, that's really all it is to it. Like I said, we have a Facebook page. You guys can like us. It's WEHL, all caps, Sportscast. Go on YouTube. You guys, the previous video I posted is just an update on some, you know, it was an update video talking about this show. You know, get the show out there. Talk to your friends. Talk to, you know, guys you play in the league with. Get them into it. Get them, you know, interested. Our Facebook page, we'll have polls. You know, you guys can submit things there. Review us. You know, you get.
Speaking of polls.
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Speaking of polls, you guys want us to do Game of the Week polls so that we can do live commentary over them? I feel like that would be a good idea.
That would. Yes. We could do a Game of the Week. Give us your guys' opinion.
Twitch or YouTube channel, and we could do a live commentary.
Yeah, if you got, like, you know, like we're saying, give us your guys' opinion. This isn't just for, you know, this is something that I made very clear to all of the admins. I didn't, for me, for my team, for your team, or, you know, for just the admins. I'm doing it for the players, the league, you know, I'm doing it for you guys, you know, because I could clearly, I mean, I don't have to do it, but I was given the chance, given the opportunity to do it, you know, and if the support is there and I can get, you know, the guys into it, yeah, more videos like this, more videos of highlights of other things and everything will be out. As for now, I think that's going to wrap it up. Ian, do you have any last final thoughts or words to give the guys and gals watching?
Other than that, no. I think that's going to wrap up a good first episode for sure.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, guys. Well, episode 1 is in the books of the Sportscast. This is, it's been a long time coming. It is something that we, me, Ian, and Ethan, we've spent all week, probably the last 2 weeks, working on this, getting it ready. And this is something that, you know, you guys will see more of. But go ahead, give us a like, a follow, subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell, click the bell button on the next to the subscribe, so that way you guys get notifications when we're live and when we're not live, when new videos are coming out. Give us a shout out on Facebook. Go ahead, like our Facebook page. Visit the website, worldehockey.com, and we will see you guys next time.